second to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Here.
Alderman Lorik is excused. Alderman Dukniak.
Here.
Toman.
Here.
Gale.
Here.
Guzekowski.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Would our interim IT guy please lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kevin. Approval of minutes of 3:20. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? If there's no amendments, corrections, or comments, motion.
Kirkowski make a motion to approve the minutes of March 20th, 2018.
Dukniak second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukniak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye. Item number 4 is a mayoral proclamation for National Library Week. We will have the city clerk read that into the record.
National Library Week 2018. Whereas the Oak Creek Public Library is not just about what they have for people, but what they do for and with people. And whereas the Oak Creek Public Library is long served as trusted and treasured institution in our community, and library workers and librarians fuel efforts to better our community. And whereas librarians are leaders in their institutions and organizations, in their communities, in the nation, and in the world. And whereas librarians continue to lead the way in leveling the playing field for all who seek information and access to technologies. And whereas libraries and librarians look beyond their traditional roles and provide transformative opportunities for education, employment, entrepreneurship, empowerment, and engagement, as well as new services that connect closely with patrons' needs. And whereas libraries and librarians lead their communities in innovation, providing programming, marker spaces, and access and training for new technologies. And whereas libraries are pioneers supporting democracy and affecting social change, with a commitment to providing equitable access to information for all library users, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status. And whereas libraries lead in working with diverse communities, offering services and educational resources that transform communities, open minds, and promote inclusion and diversity. And whereas libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Daniel J. Bukevich, Mayor of the City of Oak Creek, proclaim April 8th through 14th, 2018 as National Library Week. I encourage all residents to visit the library this week and explore what's new at your library and engage with your librarian. Because of you and our library leaders, libraries transform. Dated the second day of April 2018.
Thank you, Catherine. And with us is our librarian, Jill.
So I thought the National Library Week was a good time to just come and tell council about a couple of statistics. We really like statistics on our side of the building. So I thought it would be a good time to talk about some of the ways that our new library has transformed our community in the 2 years since we've been open. So I'm just going to read off a couple of things. So out of our community, we have 15,126 of our residents have a Oak Creek Public Library card. And out of those people, they don't have to have everyone, whether you have a library card or not. Last year, we checked out 326,255 items in our building. That is a 25% increase from the number of items we checked out in 2015, which would have been the last year at the old building. We also had almost 200,000 people walk through our doors last year. And 21,000 people use our public internet computers, and they used 17.35 terabytes of data. So our wireless usage and our internet usage is really heavily used over on our side of the building. We had 22,500 people attend 450 programs that my staff offered for this year, and overall we had 16,000 again, that's a 50% increase over what it was in the old building. So overall, all just come stop by in the lobby. The Friends of the Library are going to be offering cookies and coffee as a thank you for all of our library supporters.
Excellent. Any questions for Jill? Steve?
No questions, Mayor, but I want to just say that I continue to get people from outside Milwaukee just compliment me on the library we have here. They just walk in and are just amazed at what we have. And I know that there were some doubters when the library was built because it was either so big or people don't use libraries anymore because of being home with the internet and stuff like that. And obviously the statistics prove them wrong. So I just want to compliment Jill and her staff for what they do over there.
Right. Anyone else? Mike?
Yeah, Jill, nice job over there. Things seem to be going fantastic. I wanted to ask you, are we cutting edge on this magazine app that's just come through?
So we do have a magazine app that we get through our membership in the Milwaukee County Federated Library System. It's called RV Digital, and it allows you with your library card to download and read books on either your home computer or any digital device that you have. You can check out magazines. It's actually really nice because they never have to be returned. You can just keep downloading them, and you can even set it up so that when the new issue comes out, it just downloads it automatically.
But are we cutting edge as compared to the rest of the libraries? Or is that just...
That is a pretty, most of the libraries in the state now do have that app. We had it for a couple of years. I would say that we were one of the first to get it. For the most part, a lot of our digital resources, like I said, we get as, in order to make them affordable, we buy them through the consortium, so we buy them together with the county. And so what ends up happening is a lot of the libraries in the state of Wisconsin end up getting them all at the same time because the library systems get a group discount.
Else? Nothing? Okay. Well, congratulations, Jill. Again, whenever I give a tour, we always take them through the library. Everybody's very impressed, as Steve said. And there was a big question, is our libraries vital today? And I guess that proves everybody wrong. Build it and they will come. I guess that holds true. So, again, thank you for all you do and your staff. You got a wonderful staff over there. So
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item 5, it is consideration of a rezone submitted by Lakeshore Veterinarian to rezone the property at 9472 South 27 from RS3 Single Family to B4 Highway Business. Doug, do you got that one? Or Catherine? Oh, you got the public hearing.
Public hearing number 1 is to consider a request submitted by Dr. Jacob Otters, Lakeshore Veterinary Specialist, to rezone a portion of the property at 9472 South 27th Street from RS3 Single Family Residential to B4 Highway Business, no change to the NO Mixed Use Neighborhood Overlay District, with a conditional use permit for an animal hospital. Applicant is Dr. Jacob Otters, Lakeshore Veterinary Specialist, property owner, AM Community Credit Union, care of True Stone Financial Credit Union. There follows the legal description. Date of notice is March 7th, 2018.
Great.
Thank you. Good evening. I am Doug Seymour, the Director of Community Development for the city. This is a public hearing, and of course, there we go. A public hearing and a request to rezone a portion of the property at 9472 South 27th Street to B4 Highway Business with a conditional use for the entire property for a veterinary clinic. Lakeshore Veterinary Specialist currently occupies leased space in the shopping center just to the north and east of the site, and they are looking to relocate from that adjacent multi-tenant building. As such, since the animal hospitals, veterinarian clinics require a conditional use permit, the property on the corner, which is the subject of tonight's hearing, would need to also get that conditional use permit. That's part of it. But as you can see on your screen there's a small portion of the property that has a remnant RS3 single-family residential zoning on it, and this action would also rezone that to B4, again, as well as issue that conditional use permit. The zoning is consistent with the comprehensive plan, and the plans, which will need to be reviewed and approved by the Plan Commission, ultimately are, for the most part, and are looking to be consistent with the standards of the 27th Street Overlay District. The conditional use permit is accompanied by a set of conditions and restrictions, which for the most part are identical to those which were in place for the previous veterinary clinic. The Plan Commission has reviewed the proposed request for the rezoning as well as the conditional use permit, and they have recommended to the council that it be approved. Again, please note that at this stage, you're approving the zoning, the conditional use permit. As part of that conditional use permit, all the plans, site and building plans, will come back before the Plan Commission for review and approval. But having said that, I just want to share with you, hopefully, just a kind of a rendering of the facility, because I think it's if I can editorialize for one moment, it would be a wonderful addition to the city and some of the type of quality and design that we are looking for along 27th Street. With that, this is a public hearing. I would ask that anyone who has any questions or comments regarding the proposed rezoning of the portion of this property to B4 Highway Business with a conditional use permit for an animal hospital and veterinary clinic to please fill out an appearance form. When your name is called, please proceed to the podium and address your comments and or questions. The Common Council, this public hearing is now open.
Thank you, Doug. As Doug stated, we will make 3 calls. This will be the first call. Second call. Third and final call. We will now close the public hearing and move on to item 6, which is consideration of an ordinance approving that zoning change. We'll open it up. Questions from the council? Comments? Ken?
Yeah, Dan, just a comment. I think discussing this and looking at the proposal, obviously, long-term, a key entrance point to the city from outside, and I think given the specs here and the building design and the usage, a nice appropriate use and a nice design, I think it'd be a welcome addition to the city.
Chris, you got something?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that we did talk this at length at Plan Commission. We really went through everything and really commended the design and are real excited with this, again, being on 27th and Ryan. So it'll be a nice gateway to the community.
Right. Nothing else? I do agree. I mean, I was at planning. I think it's a really interesting looking building, and it also fits the 27th Street overlay plan, and that's a plus. And more importantly, it fits our comprehensive plan and meets our goals. So, if there's nothing else, motion on 6.
Guzikowski will make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2899, approving the rezoning portion of the property at 9472 South 27th Street from RS3 Single Family Residential to B4 Highway Business. No change to the number, no mixed use neighborhood overlay district with conditional use permit for an animal hospital.
Gale, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorick. Oh, I'm sorry. I got excited.
He's not
Dukenyak.
going to answer. Okay, that's funny. Item 7 is informational. It is our treasurer's report, and with us tonight is Barb. I don't think it's on, Barb. You may want to scoot over. No?
You pressing the button with the voice, the nose, the face.
There you go.
That one? Oh, there we go. I pressed it before. All right, so the treasury report on investment and banking for the Oak Creek accounts, month ending February 28th, 2018. I will reiterate, as I have in the past, that these funds are not for general purpose spending. Some of them are for special uses, et cetera. Our beginning balance was $59,679,593.51. Ending balance $42,402,722.58. Our interest earned was just under 65,000, a decrease of $17,276,870.93. In case you're wondering, most of that was payments to the other taxing jurisdictions for tax collection from January. February tax collection was $2,862,577.20, or about 0.03% of the total levied. And the city's share was approximately $880,000.
Okay. Any questions for Barb? No? I think you're all done, Barb.
Great,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8, consideration of a motion to approve the vendor summary report. If you could all take a look, please, and if you have questions, not sure who's taking them tonight. Probably a combination between Mike and maybe Andrew. Mike, items, just very quickly, item 6?
Right, yes, that's what I was just about to
Oh,
make
okay.
a comment on that.
Go
Of course,
ahead.
that of course is the lion's share of the invoices tonight, and that is a big payment to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, and for good reason. That is the city's cost share of the two bridge replacement projects that were constructed in 2016. The Marquette Avenue Bridge in North Branch Industrial Park, and the Nicholson Bridge south of Putes.
Were those partials or full?
Those were full reconstructions, and the amount that the city is paying here represents about 1/3 of the overall construction costs, because there was grant money associated with those two bridges.
Wow.
Just a comment, living in that neighborhood, the Nicholson Avenue Bridge replacement, well done. Overdue in its need to be replaced. So I'm sure, again, for many of those that use Nicholson Avenue as a means of getting from point A to B, much easier to navigate. Now, Mike, the only question I have, does that end our financial obligation to the Department of Transportation?
These were not final billings, but this is, I would say, probably represents 95% of what we're going to see. These projects with the DOT, they take a long time to close out on their end. So undoubtedly, we'll see a couple of invoices filter in on one or both of these, but we don't expect them to be significant. We are holding on to one on the Marquette Avenue Bridge, which is about $36,000, because we had a couple questions on that. But other than that, I really don't expect much at all.
Okay, thank you.
No other questions? Motion, please.
You'll move to approve the March 27, 2018 vendor summary report in the combined total amount of $633,622.33.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Item number 9 is consideration of a resolution approving a wall cul-de-sac expansion development agreement for the design and installation of public improvements at 10100 8th Avenue, 4th District.
Okay, I'll take that one. And so this is the development agreement that goes along with any development that requires construction of public infrastructure. And fairly simple one here. The only public infrastructure is an asphalt cul-de-sac as you enter the property. As you can see on the monitor, this property is accessed by 8th Avenue down in the southeast portion of the city. 8th Avenue tees off of O'Brien Road and extends no more than a couple of hundred feet to the north, and currently dead ends as just a flat road. For this property, in order to put a house on that vacant land, The requirement was for him to put on an asphalt cul-de-sac, one which would allow for turnaround movements of vehicles. And would be very handy snowplows and garbage trucks in the future. So that's really it, just the cul-de-sac.
Any questions for Mike? No? Mike, anything? Okay.
Tobin will make a motion to adopt resolution number 11926, approving the Wall Cul-de-sac Expansion Development Agreement for the design and installation of public improvements at 10100 South 8th Avenue.
Gail, a second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Item 10 is also a consideration of a resolution approving the final subdivision plat for the Carrollville Crossing Addition Number 1. Doug, you got it?
Yeah, this is final subdivision plat for Carrollville Crossings Addition Number 1 in the northwest corner of the Carrollville Crossing subdivision, roughly at Fifth Avenue and Putes Road. Originally, when this subdivision was platted, this was an outlot or a series of outlots that contained both the tree preservation area as well as areas to the south of that wooded area that were designated for multifamily development. Given the passage of time and the demand for single-family lots, the developer has chosen, as requested, to plat those as single-family residential lots, total of 8, in sizes that are consistent with, and probably a little bit bigger than the subdivision. They have gone through the preliminary plat process, gone through the required public improvements, and as a final step prior to the recording of the plat, they're bringing the final plat for your consideration this evening.
Thank you. Any questions concerning subdivision addition?
Other than the outlet to the north stays park?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just a couple items from planning very quickly. A few of the homeowners were in the existing subdivision. They wanted to make clear that the same standards that applied to the first part of the subdivision applied to the new homes. And then one other question was asked, and Doug, maybe you can clear this up. There's a retention pond there, correct? Who assumes the maintenance of that? Does the homeowners association, or?
So I believe it's under current development agreement and the current plat for the first phase of the subdivision, that HOA is responsible for that. Now, typically, and I haven't seen the specific documents or the deed restrictions, but I would suspect that the owners of these 8 lots are brought into that HOA for maintenance purposes of the stormwater basin.
Okay, that was the question. It actually, was brought up by one of the owners.
Right. Do they have the same HOA standards and bill notes as the other houses that were there going
Now,
forward?
I will say, and again, I've not seen the deed restrictions, so I can't comment on that. I mean, I suspect that certainly with respect to our zoning categories, the RS3 zoning district, those will no doubt be consistent with that. I will also note that the original Carrollville Crossing subdivision had some special architectural details that were written into it with respect to garages and porches and things of that nature. I don't know what the status is of that for this phase of the subdivision, but I would endorse that these 8 lots be held to those same architectural standards.
And
Well, that's what,
Go ahead, Chris.
and that's exactly where the rest of the
Yep.
homeowners were going. They were asking that it's carried through. The other thing is there a park on the north end there?
It's a tree preservation easement. It's not a park per se, but it's a wooded area that's preserved.
So I guess just to make it clear, when will we find out if these architectural standards will carry through? And also, will the owners of the new subdivision lots be notified that they have an obligation with the homeowners association for the detention pond?
So typically what happens is that on the plat itself, it states that very plainly that each one of those lots has a fractional ownership, and that outlot. Mike, have you seen the development agreement or the deed restrictions for that? And we normally wouldn't, but
Okay. Yeah. Mike, you wanna come up, please, and just comment? I know we're gonna put you on the spot, but, and I know that,
Yeah, as far as the architectural standards go, I looked at them as like 1,400 square foot for a ranch, and I think it's 1,700 square foot for a two-story. And it did have about you need 2 garage doors if you have the garage in front of the house. So I am actually going to meet with Doug tomorrow morning. I was going to ask him if that's a big deal for them. I did talk to the people, and they didn't seem to be too concerned about that. I said what I might do is, if the garage is in front of the house, require a certain percentage, like 15-20% of the front to have brick or stone in lieu of the 2 garage doors. The 2 garage doors, when we did it 10-12 years ago, it was easier to do it because of the wall bracing standards that were in effect at the time. Now you have to have more distance between the garage doors to get your wall bracing, so it's a little bit more difficult. That's pretty much it. As far as the square footage goes, I'm a little flexible on that. I might even just raise that up, maybe 1,600 square foot for ranches and 2,000 for 2 stories,
okay.
which would be substantially higher than what we have.
And then I don't know if the responsibility falls on you, but when the lots are sold, just so that the owners know that they're part of the association.
Correct. That's what I would say is they're going to be
Okay.
part of the
Great.
existing thing. That pond was there originally. We just kind of enhanced it.
What did you do to the pond again? We talked about this at Plan Commission. Did you guys backfill that, or what did you do? Reinforce
The
it?
contractor's not here. He handled that whole thing. He took out some of the stuff and then redid it, and I think he just kind of reshaped it.
It's working better now, right? Right. Commissioner Johnson,
Relined it,
Planned,
relined
I
it with
think
clay.
Brian said.
yes.
Sir, could you just give your name and number for our record?
Sure. It's Mike Carrick.
Where you're from, actually.
Oh, Mike Carrick. Carrick Homes, 11600 West Lincoln Avenue, West Dallas. And I did the original 52 lots, and I built all the homes too, so.
Good. Excellent.
And I
Glad-
plan to build all these.
Glad to see more homes coming. That's good. Any other questions for Mr. Carrick while he's up here? Not motion, please.
Someone will make a motion to adopt resolution number 11925, approving the final subdivision plat for Carrollville Crossings, addition number 1.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And that brings us to the License Committee. I'd like to turn that over.
Thank you very
to
much.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I proceed, has everybody had a chance to look at the Common Council report? And does anybody have any questions? Okay, there's no questions then. Kirkowski will make a motion to grant the various license requests as listed on the April 2nd, 2018 License Committee report.
Dukniak, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Dukenyak.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
And that brings us up to adjournment.
Kirkowski will make a motion to adjourn.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Toman.
Aye.
Gale.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Dukenyak.
Aye.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and coming out tonight. Rather short, quick meeting, but we were efficient at it. Thank you to the staff. Very well prepared as usual. And again, National Library Week begins. Get out there, check out our library, discover and celebrate it. Thank you. Don't forget to vote. Oh, and tomorrow's election day. Don't forget to vote. Exercise your